Sooner, everybody. My name's Harry James. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not getting this video out preview a little earlier. I was at the softball game between Oklahoma and Alabama. Winner would go to the World Series. Sooners ended up winning. They're playing UCLA as we speak on the diamond. But on the gridiron, the Sooners will still soon take the field. And this is the first preview for that, as they'll play, as Mike Steely on the franchise puts it, Houston and the Cougars and their new coach. Find out who their new coach is. Plus, we'll tell you a little bit about the Houston Cougars next. Boomer Senior 1982. Don't go away. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. My name's Harry James. That man, right there behind me, Bob Stoops. You'll remember his final year, they lost two non-conference games. In fact, they're the last regular season losses for the Sooners in non-conference play. They lost to Ohio State, eventually got them back, actually got that one back in Columbus with the flag plant. Now they'll finish that set of games with a Houston game. The game will be played in Norman on Sunday night, the opening weekend of college football. It's a Houston team that's not bad. They're called the Cougars. They play their home games at the TD ECU Stadium. That's the Cage. That's what they call it. It's called the Cage. 8-5 last year, 5-3 in the American, but they did finish first in the American West Division. But they did not win the conference. They tied with Memphis and last year's non-conference cream puff, as some Sooner fans call it, in Tulane. So that wasn't that bad of a loss of a team there. But Memphis ended up winning the tiebreaker and played in the Central Florida UCF in the American Conference Championship game. That's our old buddy Josh Heupel. Speaking of 2018, it was not a bad year for Houston. Of course, going to a bowl game with 8 wins. They lost it, however, to Army in the Armed Forces Bowl. Lost this one. You ready for this one, guys? 70-14. Remember how good that tight and how gritty that Army team was that came into Norman and played us? Well, they gave Houston all they wanted. And in fact, the former Texas quarterback, Major Applewhite, that was his final game in H-Town. They did go out and hire a new coach in Dana Holgorsen. Now, Sooner fans will remember this name, Dana Holgorsen, the former Oklahoma State assistant. We'll get more into that and from his coaching repertoire here in a second. But first, let's talk about what Dana has returning from last season. And that includes number 4, Daquan King in the passing category passed for 2,982 yards to go with 36 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. His longest pass of the year, 79 yards. Leading rusher is a true running back. That's Patrick Carr. He drives the car for the running game with 143 carries last year, 868 yards, and 5 touches. 39 was his longest run. They do have another pretty good back. Their quarterback, King, is not a bad quarterback to be running with either. Daquan King, 114 carries at the end of the books to go with 674 yards, 14 touchdowns. His longest run, 64 yards on a selfie. Receivers, Marquise Stevenson and Keith Corbin are 2 guys. We'll start with 5. Marquise Stevenson, 67 receptions at the end of the season to go with 947 yards and 9 TDs. His longest reception of the year, 79 yards. While Keith Corbin, 39 yards receptions, 669 yards, 10 touchdowns. His longest reception, 51 yards. Now, these are all guys that are returning guys because of all the graduations and all the transfers. So hopefully these guys stick around, and I'm right in saying that. With that being said, let's go to defense and Glenn Spraywell, number 21, and number 2, Deuce, DeAndre Anderson. We'll start with Glenson Spraywell, 81 tackles to go with 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered. Did have 3 INTs last year for Houston. Defensively also, DeAndre Anderson, number 2, 72 tackles, 1 forced fumble, didn't have a fumble recovered, and 1 interception. All right, the coaching carousel at Houston continues. Remember, 3 years ago, was that 3 years ago or 4 years ago now? They had the Herminator, Tom Herman. A year later, he goes to Texas. That promotes the former Texas assistant, Major Applewhite, to be the head football coach. And after 2 years, he leaves and Dana Holgorsen comes in. Dana Holgorsen from Iowa Wesleyan, 1992 grad. His coaching history includes a stint at West Virginia, so he would be here in Norman anyway later in the year, but he comes a little earlier this year. First game of the season, and I believe first Sunday game in quite a while for the Sooners, possibly ever. He was at West Virginia, by the way, that we were talking about, 2011 to 2018, and then 2019 to present, he's at Houston. Coaching career record. Now, this is all at West Virginia since this is his first year at Houston, but he had a 61-14 record out in Morgantown. That's a 56% winning clip. And in 7 years, or 7 bowl games, had a 2-7 ranking. That's 27% at West Virginia. Overall, at West Virginia, in that divisional titles and conference titles in the Houston era, in Houston right now, there's 3 of them. 2016, 15, and 2006. Sorry. Did get back in 15, and then in 18. In 2018, that was last year. They, of course, we tied with Memphis and Tulane. They didn't qualify for the conference championship. They did, however, qualify twice for the conference titles and win one in 2006 in the Conference USA with Houston, and then with Houston also 2015 with in the American Conference with Tommy Herman. Alright guys, thanks for watching. The next preview, I believe, is South Dakota State. We'll preview the Cream Puff of South Dakota State. I'm guessing that's going to be the Cream Cup game. You would think, right? We'll preview that one next week, and I can promise you it will be on Sunday. Alright guys, till then, I'm out of here. You can follow me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, also at Twitter, at Hype Man Harry. I also tweet out a blog every day, about every day. Not just about, a lot of it about Sooners, but not just only OU. Thunder's involved in it a little bit too. But you can follow that on my Twitter account, at Hype Man Harry. And like I said, I release one about every day or so. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and Boomer Sooner everybody. I'm out of here. See ya. Peace.